Okay, we're back with our hex command gunpowder demonstration. We are looking at part 6A, or I should say 6B, if you will. We are now ready to roll for initiative and see who gets to activate their first group. So we will look for our die. 10-sided die. Oop, never mind. I have it on my phone and I have it on the computer, so we shall roll using the phone. That was for, okay, we will begin to roll. All right. We need to add a 10-sided. It is a 10-sided. That's a 10-sided die? Is it really? Okay. So this is for the British. Americans failed. British failed, and the Americans passed. So good for the Americans. Their first group gets to activate first. That's these guys right here, and so they will be able to get out of the way. So, but here is the situation. Before a unit activates, does the non-phasing player get a chance to shoot? The answer is yes, especially if you've already marked the orders and the orders. So what would have happened here is that the commanders would roll for initiative, and then they would mark orders. They would designate what their groups are going to do across the table before anything else happens. And then the turn would progress after that. So we would say that we don't really actually know. Would the British commander actually have his troops move? If they were to move, they would get into melee. But he, well, fact of the matter is, the orders would be marked before. I said that incorrectly. Orders would be marked before the initiative die roll is made. So, if this British player had marked this to move because he was hoping to win the initiative and then contact these guys and destroy them, because they would be destroyed in melee. So we'll assume that was the case, that all the orders are marked based on their logical potential. And that is definitely, he would have marked these guys to move. These guys would have been marked to move as well, no doubt. And the cannons would be firing. So these guys would be moving in their activation, which is all part of their first group, and of course the artillery piece is going to fire now. So it is marked hold, and it gets to fire. So we'll do as we did before. 1, 2, 3 is automatic. 1, 2, 3 is color, and then the next band is code. So it's a red to hit. Commander brings it down to color, which is blue to hit. Blah 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 blah. No other modifier. They need a blue to hit. And they rolled a red, so they did not cause a casualty hit, which is again good for the Americans, because one more red hit and they would be routed. So I'm just thinking here, if the unit was marked to move, they would not be able to get a shot. That's the whole purpose of initiative. So these guys, 1, 2, and 3. Actually, let's get them in the forest. And then that's it. So if the British commander got his way and he's now going to move, he would move 1, 2, and 3. Let's just go here. This is fine. Same thing. And 1 and 2 with these guys. Okay. Leave the commander where he is with the artillery. So they both get a shot now. There's nothing else that can be done here. So 1, 2 is automatic. 3, 4 is color. Because of the cover, it goes to code. No other modifier. Looks like just no other modifier. So it's just going to be code. So I need to red to hit it. These guys, 1, 2 automatic, 3, 4 color. Trees make it code. No other modifier. They need a red as well, and they didn't get it as well. Artillery fires, 1, 2, 3 automatic, 1, 2, 3 color, 2, 3 code. Cover makes it CNC. Commander brings it down to code again, so that's red. And they didn't get it. So a whole bunch of things are missing on that American unit being able to get away. Adventure number 2. The unit number 2 is the British up there. Down, they're marked to move, obviously, as we said before. They're going to come down that road. Let's do the artillery. 1, 2, and 3. Followed by the infantry. And that's it for them. And, oops, that actually moved out of sequence. These guys go, because the Americans won the initiative. So the American will move into the field here and sit down. Obviously marked to move. This unit will move to protect it as well. Commander will be placed in there. And this unit on the road goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Getting up there. Is it now? British already went. So number 3 goes. American number 3 comes down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one here isn't going to do too much. This third unit, the Hessian unit, I suppose you could say, they're just going to go in the forest. It's a smart thing to do. Because they really can't do anything else. And unfortunately, looking at the disposition of the hexes, it looks to me as if these guys might be out of arc. If we were to use the other hex as a guide, and this is the hex they're in, then they are actually out of arc. The arc of the hex from the give me a decent hex to look at. So if the unit is facing the flat, it's from the front is the not from the back. I'm sorry. Yes, the unit is here. The arc is in the front, not from the back. So from the front, these guys are out of arc. I didn't think that he was going to do that. So we didn't turn more. We thought we would be fighting on that bridge. So that was good for him. He gets a good shot on me there. The only other combat is these two threes. So there's a combat there and there's combat here, but the Americans cannot shoot. So that's going to be an automatic hit for the British. Their modifier. So because of that range, it's going to be a red hit. And there's no other combat because this is a partial obstruction here. Well, could be a combat, I suppose, but it's going to be a -1. So automatic, color, code, code and color. Commander brings it back to code, and back to code and color for the partial obstruction. So a C and C is needed. That's a miss. These guys have already fired. This one here is going to fire. Automatic, color. No other modifier, blue. Okay. And automatic. So it's not a red hit. It's not point blank range. So it's just incremental. You see how these rings work so much better than the discs because they don't clutter the table. Okay, so that's it. Oh, combat here. Well, we already did it. Interesting. Bizarre things like this that are happening, just reminiscent of, ironically, so many things in history that turned out like this, and yet the game started randomly. The units were placed in groups, but randomly. Coming in the table, it's not on the table, coming in. And yet, after a couple of turns, it begins to look like something normal. Everybody's racing to get together. The British are in 3 different zones. You could say that they're not collected, so they're at a disadvantage. The Americans could be collected. Actually, they are kind of in the middle now. The British are separated. Equal forces. Separated, you're not going to do well. So the British needs to decide what to do here, especially with this German unit just hanging by itself out there. It's not going to go anywhere. Certainly, it's in a good position. So he can certainly maintain his position. But if the commander wanted it to change, and you were using couriers, in other words, the couriers would be sent out. For the Americans, not so hard from this commander to get to the other units. Okay, couriers go out. But for this commander, the courier has to go through the American line, so that's not going to work. It's going to have to go all the way around. And to get to this one, he can't go through the American lines. He's going to have to go all the way around to communicate with this unit. So that, technically speaking, this unit is out of communication. In other words, it cannot be changed. As far as it's concerned, it's going to activate on number 3. The commander, the player cannot change it. So that's interesting. Okay. There we are.